Hi guys! So it is time for our Disney cooking video of the month. So this month I have chosen Rapunzel. I know it's a little bit late, sorry, but I was trying my hand at maybe Mulan, but Mulan is a very difficult movie to try to pick a food. So I went ahead and went with Rapunzel, and I went with an angel hair pasta, obviously to represent her hair. The tomatoes are for the apples for Maximus. And you can add chicken or you can add shrimp, any type of meat that you want. Or you can totally leave it meatless and just have a meatless meal. That's okay too. We also did a crescent roll hair braid also for her hair. And then for dessert we did something really sweet and simple, which was we used donuts to make her castles. So if you guys want to see how to do this, then keep watching. Okay, and for this recipe, you're going to need some angel hair pasta. You're going to need some minced garlic, some Italian style cheese, or you can use Parmesan cheese, any type of cheese that you prefer to use. You're going to need some olive oil. You are going to need at least half of a purple onion or a white onion, your preference, half of a bell pepper, and a handful of the grape size tomatoes. I'm also going to use some ready-to-cook chicken for mine and the kids, and some little shrimp here that you can find in the frozen section at your store for my husband's. And then you're going to need a crescent dough sheet. Okay, first things first, we're going to go ahead and start our pasta water because, of course, it's going to take a little bit of time to come up to boil. I put a couple of drops of olive oil in there so our noodles do not stick together. I also put a good helping of salt in there, some garlic powder, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for that to come up to boil. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and heat up our skillet here, and I'm just going to cook the chicken and the shrimp, of course, separately, just to go ahead and get those out of the way before we start to saute our vegetables. So I've added just a little bit of the minced garlic in the bottom of the skillet here, just to give the chicken a little bit of flavor. You don't have to use the ready-to-go chicken or ready-to-cook. It's already cooked, you just need to heat it thoroughly. You don't have to use that. I'm just using that because it is in my freezer and needs to be used up. You can use your own chicken. You can season it however you'd like. You can... It's all real chicken, but you don't have to do it this way. If you're going to do it with chicken out of a bag or a package or something like that, you could throw it in the oven and season it like that. You could boil it and shred it. So you don't have to use the same method here, but that's what I'm going to use tonight just because it's really quick and easy. If you've watched my vlogs, then you know I'm all about the easy meals, and especially right now that my husband has a broke ankle, so we're trying to do a quick and easy meal. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish cooking this, and I'm going to do the same method to the shrimp with the garlic, just season it up a little bit. I might add a little bit of garlic powder and Italian seasoning to the shrimp to give it some great flavor. But I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll be back to saute our vegetables. Okay, so our water has come up to boil, and I have put in our pasta. Now be very careful because this pasta takes literally 5 minutes, maybe 7. I'm going to go with 5 to cook, so definitely keep an eye on it. You don't want it to turn into mush real fast, but it takes about 5 minutes. I went ahead and thrown the shrimp in. I'm just giving them a light coat and tossing them around until they are done. These don't take long at all. By the time that my shrimp is done, my pasta will probably be done. I'm just taking my tongs and moving them around so I don't have any chunks of pasta. I hate those. They get stuck together. Like I said, just keep an eye on them. And when that's done, we're just going to drain off all of the liquid and just let it hang out. Okay, so I have thrown our stick of butter over into our pan here with some of the minced garlic and a little bit of the olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. So now we're going to go ahead and toss in our vegetables. Okay, and so we're just going to saute the vegetables. Just make it really nice and tender, and so you don't have that raw, bitter flavor of the onion and the bell pepper. And I like to make the tomatoes just a little mushy, and they really grab that garlic flavor. It's going to be really good. And look how colorful it is. So the tomatoes are obviously to represent the apple in the movie. Every Disney movie, I think, has apples in it. So every dessert I would make would probably have apples, but we're going to go for a little bit different take on it here. So I decided to use these little cherry tomatoes to kind of represent the apples for Maximus. So we're just going to keep stirring this around until it looks and smells about done. I'm going to say anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. And then once that step is complete, you can go ahead and toss in your drained cooked pasta and just coat the pasta really heavily with the sauce. Okay, so our pasta is done. I've went ahead and tossed it and it's nicely coated. So now is the step where you can go ahead and throw in a big handful of your cheese. So if you're using Parmesan cheese or your Italian cheese, whichever you prefer, go ahead and just toss that in, just like you're doing with the sauce, just mixing it back and forth. You can leave it topped on the top like this if you want, or you can just mix it all together. I'm going to mix it so everything just kind of melts together. It's already looking and smelling delicious. And at this time, you definitely want to put your bread in the oven to get that going, so everything is done around the same time and everything's nice and warm. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a toss and wait for the bread to be done.
Okay, what I'm making is some crescent bread. It's a crescent bread braid, and it's to resemble Tangled's hair. Rapunzel's hair, I'm sorry, Rapunzel's hair. And all I'm using here is a crescent dough sheet. Okay, I rolled the sheet out, I cut it into thirds, I seasoned it with some Italian seasoning and some garlic powder. Alright, and now I'm just simply going to roll it up. It'll just be fluffier this way, and it will resemble hair a little bit better. So I'm just going to roll them up like so. Okay. Once I get them rolled up nice, I'm just going to give them a little twist from end to end. Like so. And once I get all three of these made, I'm going to braid them. And now I'm going to start a seemingly simple hair braid. Make me a little knot at the end. And then we go over, like so. And the right goes over, like so.
Just if you were braiding your daughter's hair.
Yeah, it's just a simple three-way hair braid. And we're just going to keep on like so. And like so. You want to keep them kind of uniform so it looks good. Like so. Preferably no gaps in there. And back and forth. Gotta keep it straight, or you can curl it around. You can do whatever you want to do with it. And that's that. Dale's crescent sheet.
All right, and we're done. The bread is finally done. Everything. So I just neatly placed the chicken on top, and of course the shrimp on my husband's. But that's what it looks like. You can garnish it with a little bit of extra cheese if you want, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, whatever. But that is basically it. It looks and smells delicious, so I'm going to go ahead and enjoy. Okay, and for the dessert, you are going to need some pre-made donuts, or you can make your own. I just got a baker's dozen, which if you don't know what that is, it's just 13 donuts, which is my kind of dozen because I always like to sneak one. Anyways, you're going to need some donut holes. You're going to need some Twizzlers. I just got a multi-pack just because the kids like to eat them, but I'm going to use the yellow out of this pack. You are going to need some pointy ice cream cones and some green frosting with some little flour sprinkles.
Well.
Okay, so we're going to take our green frosting, and this is going to act as ivy, as you see out through most of the movie. So we're just going to go around the top here very carefully. This stuff doesn't come out very easy. Okay, we're just going to go around the top. You put a little, you can put a lot. Obviously, I'm putting a lot. That's okay, though. This can is kind of hard to work, guys. Okay. Not so bad. I mean, I kind of like the little pointy things. It kind of looks like little leaves. Okie dokie. Now, I'm just going to go down the building in various little places and kind of put... as if, you know, the ivy was growing on its own, so you can do whatever you'd like. I think I'm going to go in between a couple of these little cracks and put a little in there, just various places. Make it look a little bit more real. I'm not going to work too hard on this because I know as soon as this gets done, those kids are going to eat this. So, okay. And you can add more or less if you like. You know, I might put a little bit on top just to, you know. I can hear them in their room very patiently waiting. Huh? Not really. They're not really patiently waiting. Okay. Anyways. Okay, I'm going to take some of your sprinkles. I got these little teeny tiny flour sprinkles from Walmart. Kind of hard to see there, but... And just place them in different places. I'm not going to spend a lot of time putting them on there. But you want it to look a little bit more real. I'm going to leave a little space right here for our Twizzler, which of course is going to act as a braid. Probably going to get kind of difficult to stick on some of these little pieces, but... If you're a perfectionist, you can probably do this a lot prettier than me, but I think this looks pretty good. Whoop. This is definitely a fun breakfast, or you can do this for a birthday party, baby shower, or if you guys like to watch the Disney movies together, like me and my kids. This is definitely great for just a little midnight snack. So, okay, we'll do the Twizzler here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and get my donut holes. So the donut holes, we're just going to place around the bottom. And these are just going to act kind of like boulders to make it look a little more real. You can pile them up, you can scatter them around, it doesn't really matter. We're also going to use some of that green to put a little moss on it, you know, make it look a little more realistic here. Because she's obviously been in this tower for a very, very long time. Use as many as you want, as little as you like. That one fell down. But I'm just going to put them around the bottom of the tower. Okay. Alright, so I just added some of the Twizzlers here. We put some blue to act as a stream. We put some green to kind of act as grass. So we're going to take some more of our green frosting and just put a little spots here and there on top of our donut holes here. Just, like I said, make it look more real. I think it looks more real this way. So, just any holes, you know. I think it'll look really good. Because remember, you know, she's out pretty much in the wild. So, it's not really very groomed. I'm sure the grass around there was pretty grown up too, but we're just going to kind of leave it like that. Okay, now on the top here, I totally forgot when I was making this, I need to make her a little window, hence why we're going to use our yellow Twizzler for her braid. So we're going to go up here and just make a little window shape here. We're going to put a little bit of flowers on here, kind of like how she has it in the movie, how she has flowers all around her little window. So those sprinkles everywhere. Woo, it's a good day. Alright, so we're just going to put some to kind of hide the ends where they meet there. A little on top. Okay, well, maybe not that many, but... Alright. Now I'll put a couple down here on this little bit of moss. You guys can use whatever you want, but this is what I found. I found some bigger flowers, but I didn't really like how fake they looked, and they weren't very bright, so I went with these little teeny tiny sprinkles. And so far, I think they look really good, so. Okay, so you're just going to take your yellow Twizzler, and you can peel these off and braid it yourself, but because it's already kind of braided, I left it like that. I took the end, I squeezed it flat, and then I come back together and squeezed it again, so it's not cut off at the end right here. So, makes it look a little more like her hair. Now very carefully, we're going to stick this on here as if her hair was hanging out of her window, waiting for Mr. Flynn Rider to come and use it to climb up. So I'm going to try to stick a couple sides here into this green frosting to help it stay up, just like that. If you wanted to get more fancy, you could take your green frosting here and cover whatever sheets you're using. Just like that. It's very easy. I'm using the little nozzle that came... Uh-oh. That happens, guys. If you watch any of my other videos, you know that happens. Anyways, it comes with the little can of frosting. And it keeps coming off again. Okay, you might need a little toothpick to secure that toothpick. God. Okay, so after you've made a complete mess of your counter, this is what it should look like. Let's zoom in a little bit. So you can, like I said, you can really go overboard with it, but I think this looks pretty good for on the spot. So, anyways, there is Rapunzel's castle and her long yellow flowing hair that would not stay up, but we finally got it to stay up. You might want to put it underneath the ice cream cone right here, or if you have a toothpick, stick it in there. Just remember to take it out when you have little ones eating it. But I think it looks really, really good. Okay, guys, that is it. How cute was that tower? It's super cute, and you can get really fancy with it, or you can keep it just really simple like I did, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, catch up on our daily vlogs, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.